this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited. I'm finally here with my Christmas kit for 2021. Obviously, it was suggested on my giveaway video. So sorry, I just leaned down to put something in my bag that was kind of just laying around on the desk. Yes, so as you know, it was suggested in my giveaway video, and I want to thank everybody who entered in that video. I appreciate you all so much for doing that. It kind of gave me a push, as in, you know, to what direction that you wanted the Christmas kit to go for this year. So the brief was a Victorian, no, sorry, not even Victorian, Dickensian Christmas. But kind of the request was with more blues and greens and reds and things, rather than the kind of more browns and very dulled down colours. So I really hope that you think that I've encapsulated the brief, you know, okay. So I have got a bundle of goodies here. I just like to kind of layer things up on top of kits when I'm doing the launch videos, because I just think they all look so pretty when you kind of, you know, just chuck some stuff on there, really. So I'm going to clear this off, and then we'll have a look at the kit, and then I'm not quite sure what we'll actually achieve in this video, I've got to say, because I've got something slightly different that I would quite like to do this year for my Christmas project. Again, I don't know whether I'm going to manage to pull it off, but we'll give it a try. So the kit is for sale in two different components. So you've got the background pages and you've got the ephemera pieces. Now I have to just confess, although it's for sale separately, which I like to do that because it kind of gives you a really affordable way of buying it. You know, you don't have to buy the whole lot if you don't want to. It is slightly more expensive than some of my other kits because it's a massive, massive, massive kit. So, I mean, the price is just a reflection of the amount of work that's gone into it and the amount of pieces that you get in the kit. I think I'm right in saying that the background pages are 16 pages and I think the ephemera part is 19 pages. So it's enormous. So yeah, that's the only reason why it's slightly more expensive. But let's have a run through and see what we've got. So the background pages, I've tried to obviously include some Victorian street scenes, or, you know, Dickensian kind of era street scenes and things, with some gorgeous kind of women of the period there. Now I've printed this kit on 250 GSM photo quality card / paper. Now, for some reason, my printer just is not happy doing borderless lately when it's printing the thicker, you know, on the thicker quality paper. So hence I've got this little border, which I'm going to have to cut off. It's a bit annoying, but never mind. And I've printed these double-sided in the main. I think I've done all of them double-sided, but I could be wrong. And this is another one of the background pages, which we'll obviously come to. So in fact, it's the next page. So that's page 1. Then you've got, obviously, as I've just mentioned, this background page, which actually, weirdly, I've double-sided it onto itself. So, yeah, I wanted to give you a few neutral ones because, of course, you know, these are very highly decorated pages. So it's nice to have some, you know, plainer ones to be able to kind of couple things with. You've got this gorgeous page here with, again, these beautiful girls there creating the snowman. And, oops, yeah, this happens often with me. When I'm double-side printing, you know, I can't seem to manage to get it the right way up. So, yeah, it's because I do it in bulk, and then invariably the printer kind of gives up the ghost halfway through, and I kind of have to send it all back through, and then I can't remember which way up it needs to go. So anyway, that's another one of the pages. Then this is another one of those more neutral background sheets, you know, again, so you've got those kind of backgrounds there. Then you've got this one, again, it's a slightly more neutral one, but very, very, very pretty with these obviously Christmas florals on there. Then you've got this gorgeous one here with the little boy kissing the girl under the mistletoe. You've got the lovely fireplace and things in the background, and of course the Christmas carol there in the background. You've got this red, very rich, you know, yeah, deep, rich background page here. Then you've got this gorgeous image here of the children dragging the Christmas log. Then you've got this one here. Again, it's another street scene with another one of the ladies and this cute, cute, cute girl with the muff there. And she's just kind of looking longingly at the Christmas tree. You've got this page here with another one of the vintage women. And then on the other page, you've got this one here with the children pushing the snowball along. So, I mean, some of these pages obviously lend themselves to being folded over in a journal. like so, and you'd have kind of a decorative page, you know, on each side. And others, obviously, you know, you've got kind of smaller images and things, you know, so hopefully you've got a good combination of things that you could use there. We've got this girl here coming down the stairs, you know, in her Christmas attire there, and lots of snowflakes. And then we've got this one here again, just wanted a kind of slightly more, I was going to say neutral, but I mean it's hardly neutral, is it? But toned down, I guess. This gorgeous one here with this lovely little girl again, and the robin and things. So I mean, again, you know, you could easily fold this over and it just would, you know, make a lovely page in a journal. We've got another street scene here with these children, and then you've got this blue, which is another one of the neutral backgrounds. So that's the background sheets. Now, as I say, for some reason I then had an error with my printout, so I've got like hundreds and hundreds of background sheets. Did not need all of those, but yeah, that's how I've ended up. So let me get to the beginning of the ephemera part of the kit. Oops, which of course I had done before coming on. Oh, right, here we go. Here we go. So the ephemera part of the kit is, as I say, it's 19 pages. So you've got these massive journal cards in these gorgeous, vibrant kind of teals and kind of orangey, reddy pinks. Then you have another page, similar colours, but different cards, obviously. Again, in the massive size. You've got this one here. Again, it's in a nice, large kind of size there. Like that. You've got this one here, which are taken from some actual vintage, you know, ephemera pieces. And then you've got some pieces which are smaller, which would be ideal for making toppers and clusters and, you know, what have you. Then you've got these pages here, which are all obviously tags. And you've got sort of varying sizes. So you've got some small ones and some large ones. And then you've got some bows. You've got this page here with a couple of pockets and a couple of banners to be able to put onto your pieces there. Absolutely gorgeous pockets there. This one here, again, you've got 2 pockets and 2 banners. Different, obviously, pockets and banners. This page here with lots and lots of different kind of, you know, what I would call topper type pieces. So these are really great for your kind of layering up pieces. So you've got a few with these kind of mats. And then obviously you've got some fussy cut pages, which I will show you in a second, but these work brilliantly with the fussy cut pages so that you can layer up and build up kind of pieces to put, you know, on envelopes or anything else really that you're making. And I think this kit would lend itself really awesomely to making cards as well, I've got to say. I haven't obviously made any from it because I've just not had a chance, but yeah, I think it would definitely lend itself quite well to making cards. You've got obviously an envelope here, some little banners there. You've got a stationery page, which I've just printed that on copy paper rather than thick paper, although I'm pretty sure I by accidentally printed some on thick paper as well. Then you've got these fussy cut pages. Now, I personally quite like, oh, and I also printed it out in black and white. So, yeah, again, by mistake. So I couldn't have, you know, wasted more paper, to be perfectly honest, when I was printing this kit and trying to actually get enough printed and all the right pages printed in the right combinations to do the video. For the fussy cut pieces, personally, I like to print them on thicker paper. I mean, generally, I probably wouldn't have printed the background pages on the thicker paper, except I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be using the kit yet. So that's the only reason that I've printed this on the thicker paper. The ephemera part, I definitely like to print that on thicker paper because then, you know, your journal cards and things are all going to be quite sturdy. But for the fussy cut pages, I also really like to use the thicker paper because when you're cutting these out and then if you stick them on, say, like a collage masterboard or some snippets or, you know, clusters and things like that, they're going to be really nice and robust. They're not going to go all wrinkly and flimsy like they would if they were on copy paper. So, you know, I know kind of sometimes I get ladies ask, you know, which paper would I recommend? Personally, I really like to have, you know, things like the fussy cuts printed on the thicker paper. So, yep, and this is all photo quality paper. and it's all 250 GSM. Now, again, I can't always get the 250 GSM. I just buy my photo quality paper from Amazon. I have got it linked in my, you know, Amazon affiliate links down below the video. But to be honest, I just take what I can get. So if I can't get 250, I might be able to get 230. Sometimes I can only get things like 180. Again, you know, I just go with the flow and, you know, go with whatever I can get. 250 seems to be the thickest that my printer likes to take. It doesn't seem to want to take any that, you know, that's any thicker than that. But it does make a massive difference printing on the photo quality paper. I've got these sheets here which have not been printed on the photo quality paper, and you can probably see, I mean, this is thicker paper still. I can't tell you, this maybe is 180 GSM, but it's not photo quality paper. And you can probably see, particularly this girl here, because she's the same girl. Can you see the difference between the vibrancy of the reds? Perfectly fine on this, but much more vibrant on the photo quality paper. So, you know, just a bit of a kind of tip there, really. Then you get the Fussy Cut Pages shrunk down here. So, you know, personally, I'm not a fan of making small things just because I struggle with my my ability to cut and to handle delicate things. But I've included that because I know that lots of you you know, are much more delicate than me and you like to make small things. So this is some more which is not on that photo quality paper. So again, this is, you know, just thicker paper but not photo quality, and you can straight away see, you know, the difference in the vibrancy of the prints. Can you see that? I'm trying to find one that's kind of the same, but I mean, you can see, oh, not there, here, from the flower to there, it's very, very dull, you know, dulled down in comparison. Like I say, I mean, it's perfectly acceptable. It's, you know, it's more than good enough. But once you compare the two, you'll kind of want to use this. Without comparing the two, you'll probably be more than happy with this. You know, I have been more than happy with that for years. And again, these are on not the photo quality paper, so again, they're not quite so vibrant, but you know, they're still very, you know, very nice. And again, these are the same first few pages, just shrunk down, so you've got options for if you're wanting to make a smaller journal. It just saves you kind of having to muck about with your printer settings. These are a whole bunch of pages which I mucked up, so yeah, an incredible waste of paper there. So yeah, bit disappointing there. So, and the files come in, I think you get a JPEG, you know, as a zip file with your JPEGs, and I think I also included a PDF of the files. And obviously both parts of the kit are available in my Etsy shop, so if you're wanting to look at it. Right, now, what have I got planned to make with this? Okay, I don't know how this is going to work, so we're going to trial and error here. What I've got here is I've got an iPad box. So this is one of those iPad minis. I've got an iPad mini. I've had a couple of them actually, you know, because I really heavily use it. I don't necessarily find that they last brilliantly well. Well, I mean, they last, you know, obviously 2 or 3 years. Anyway, so I have got this iPhone box, or iPad box. Obviously it's an iPad mini, so it's not massive like the, you know, more regular size iPad boxes would be. Sorry about that noise. My daughter's up here. She's got a terrible cold, so she's actually off school now. She was off school yesterday. She's off school today. So, yeah, she's just up here behaving herself while I'm doing the video, aren't you, sweetie? Right, so the only thing I would say about these boxes, they've got this kind of waxy film to them. Yeah, it's not really like a gloss. It's like a waxy film is all I would describe it as. So obviously in an ideal world, I want to try and cover this up. Oh, hold on a second, sorry about that. Yeah, my phone was buzzing in my bag. So, right, yes, I've got these, and they're, like I say, a bit of a waxy sort of surface. Now, I'm going to try and gesso over them because I'm hoping that that's going to make things want to adhere to them a bit better. The only reason I'm not kind of going straight on with the glue and sticking things is just I'm wondering whether there might be a bit of resistance, you know, because of the waxy surface. So yeah, I'd like to kind of try and cover it if I can. So I'm just going to pull in a piece of paper to put underneath this, I think. well, I mean, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. But I'm just going to go over the whole thing with a layer of gesso. I mean, hopefully this is just going to, like I say, enable it to be glued on. I just suspect that things are not going to glue on there particularly brilliantly as it stands. So, you know, we'll kind of see if this improves the stickability factor. And then I have to say, aside from the box, I have no further plan with regard to what I'm going to be doing. I have got this weird notion that I would quite like to do some sort of, it started out like a pile of papers, you know, like kind of in, you know, Christmas Carol, obviously they're in the kind of office, aren't they? And, you know, it's very messy. This, in my memory, it feels like it was very messy. Maybe it wasn't. I mean, obviously it's quite dark, isn't it, in those kind of films and things like that. But it feels like it was very messy. They obviously have, you know, they're covered in their ledger sheets and all of that kind of gubbins. And yeah, I'm kind of thinking I would like to be able to do some sort of box containing, I don't know what it's going to be containing. Maybe just like some, I don't know, vintage paper pieces. I'm not sure. Whether or not there will be a sort of miniature journal in there, or maybe a journal kind of like on the top of the box. I don't mean attached. I just mean, you know, resting on the box. I'm not sure. Like I say, I've not obviously given this too much thought. It's just that I've had this box sat behind my desk for ages now. And I just thought, do you know what? It's high time that I get on and actually use this box, or else it's just never going to actually move from the patch, you know, at the back of my desk. So yeah, thought, let's, come on, no time like the present. So right, so I've just gessoed over that. Now I'm going to put that to one side, and then the bottom obviously similarly is covered with like a waxy kind of film. So again, I'm going to go round the bottom. I probably should actually peel this off, but oh, it probably doesn't really matter, to be honest. Oh, there we go, it did come off quite cleanly. Well, they managed to get stuff to glue to this. I don't know what glue they've used, but maybe I'm completely wrong and things would have glued. But anyway, no harm in gessoing over this, is there? I mean, yeah, like I say, this is a bit, you know, wing and a prayer type stuff. So let's just fingers crossed that this is going to work. Are you okay, sweetie pie?
I'll come back in a minute.
Okay, darling. So yeah, she's poorly from school. She has just got this nasty cough that's about, I mean, it's not COVID or, you know, coronavirus or anything, but, you know, she is coughing a lot. So, yeah, I mean, actually, to be honest, the school's full of it. Everybody seems to have it. There seems to be a tummy bug going around as well. I don't know whether it's connected, because she did feel a bit sick. But to be honest, it could just be where she's coughing so much, because, you know, when you cough so much and sometimes it makes you kind of heave, it could be that, because it's a nasty cough that she seems to have. So yeah, I'm not quite sure, but anyway, I mean, she doesn't seem too bad, to be honest. I mean, to be fair, if it wasn't for the fact of COVID and the, you know, not really kind of spreading your coughs around, she probably could have gone to school, because she's definitely not really kind of, you know, staying at home type ill. No doubt she'll be moaning later, saying she's bored. I mean, this is obviously quite early in the morning that I'm doing this. We've only just had breakfast, so it's quite early yet. No doubt later she will be making her presence known and saying how bored she is. Right, okay, so I'm going to just quickly dry this off and then I'll come back. Right, I'm back. So it's not 100% dry, but it's probably dry enough that I can kind of get on. So I'm hoping that this is going to, you know, like I say, have done the trick and make this kind of more gluable. Oops, the bottom's still quite wet, so that's a bit annoying. But yeah, never mind. Now, I'm wondering, this here, as you can probably see, there's a big hole in here. I can't remember what was on there, but it was presumably the bit that kind of made it tuck in or something like that. I might have that nearer the front. The reason being is because I might put some sort of closure on this You know, possibly that would cover that up. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of the thinking. Now, I'm just wondering whether I actually should probably gesso inside of this as well. Yeah, I might just quickly gesso inside, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So, covered in gesso now. I do apologise, so's my desk. So I apologise for that as well. But if you watch my channel, you'll know I'm pretty messy. Right, now my only concern is that by the time that I get paper on and things, that this lid's actually not even going to slide over the box beneath, because I do things like that all the time. But I'm going to cross that bridge when it comes to it. If that is the case, I can always kind of cut these sides off and it would just be like resting over the top rather than a snug kind of box right the way round. Yeah, so I'm going to just kind of cross that bridge when it comes to it, I think. So let's get covering the box. Now, in the first instance, I think, let's just cover, yeah, I've got obviously a lot of the paper that, like I say, I misprinted and, yeah, wasted a lot of paper. So, you know, this is going to be quite handy for using up some of those bits that otherwise, you know, I would maybe waste completely. So let's bring those in. Now they are, in the main, they're the plain pages, because yeah, they're in the main the plain pages because I was at that point printing kind of ephemera pieces. So I'm wondering, do I want to actually try and cover the whole box, or do I want to kind of like more, you know, tear bits on and put it around like that? So because I'm not very good at covering these types of things, it's got to be said, you know, I do find it quite a struggle, and I'm sort of wondering whether from that point of view I would actually be better, instead of trying to make it look like I've covered the whole box but not made a very good job of it, doing kind of bits and then like paint over it as well. So yeah, I think that would be probably a better option. So here, for instance, I'm going to just tear that down slightly more, like that. Okay. Okie dokie, and I'm just going to tear that there so that it's not got a straight edge. So I'm just going to literally glue this on. Now, again, I should probably use Mod Podge, but I'm going to use my wet glue, I think. So yeah, this is all just kind of like, yeah, wing and a prayer stuff. So, oh, fingers crossed that we're going to make something beautiful by the end of this. It may be just horrible by the end of this, or even worse, I have got this horrible feeling that this is not going to work out, and I'm then going to have to just come on and do a confession and say, well, you know, this did not work, so now it's plan B, and I'm now making, you know, something completely different. So that's that piece. Now obviously my inside is still a bit soggy with the gesso. Again, I'm not really too worried, to be perfectly honest. You know, I'm not trying to make this, you know, like a factory perfect piece, because of course, you know, like we say, I mean, if I wanted a factory perfect piece, I'd go and buy one, wouldn't I? So, you know, we're trying to make something that's unique and gorgeous and that you definitely couldn't pick up in the shops. So let's face it, it's definitely going to be something you couldn't pick up in the shops, if nothing else. Right, let's spread that glue out like that. Okay, I'm thinking the gold around the edge of this box. Now I'm going to rough the box up as well with some sandpaper. I really like to do that, and particularly, you know, like round here, I hate where I've got that edge, you know, like where the paper's kind of on the edge of the box. And if I go around that with sandpaper, that's going to take that away, and, you know, that edge then, it will look seamless. Well, I'm hoping it will look seamless. I'm saying it like that's a given. It's not a given. It won't necessarily look seamless, but I'm hoping it's going to look seamless. So, for instance, here, I'm going to just... Actually, I'm going to go around this side instead. So, I'm just going to glue this one on this side. So, again, just take that down. I'm so sorry that it's so dark. It's literally chucking it down with rain. Can you hear that? It's really raining. I mean, it's been getting darker and darker, I have to say, all morning, so it was kind of coming, but yeah, I was hoping it was going to hold out until the end of the video, although it didn't really make any difference because the video, it was already really dark. So yeah, I'm so sorry that it's such a dark video, but unfortunately I can't really do anything about that. And I think I've said before, but I mean, I've got a lamp on my desk, but to be honest, when I've put that on for videos, it actually sometimes just makes the colour really quite distorted, and so you know, I'm not quite sure that it's actually, you know, a good thing to have the lamp on. Right, now I've also got this blue, so I'm just wondering whether we might like to have a bit of the blue. So yeah, let's just again tear that down here. Just tearing it so I've got a bit of a raggedy jaggedy edge on both edges, if you see what I mean. So yeah, let's just go around here and then kind of there. Oops, no, it's not reaching really. Is it going to reach? Yeah. So I'm just going to tear this off so it's, you know, not got that horrible straight looking edge. Right, so I'm going to glue this in the first instance. I mean, I've got to say, quite pleased that I didn't have to do the school run actually this morning, because this would not have been much fun being caught in. What do you think, sweetie? Are you quite pleased that you're not at school now? Yeah. Not the nicest days. Not the nicest. Right, okay, so I'm going to just quickly spread this out here. Okay. Okie dokie, and then like just glue this piece down here. Oh. I mean, like I say, I probably should have used Mod Podge for this, to be honest. Yeah, maybe I will end up wishing that I had. But hey, let's just go with it and see how we get on. So, and like I say, I mean, when I've kind of tried to cover boxes before, I've never done them like this before. I've tried to cover the whole box, if you know what I mean. And to be honest, I've never really been very happy with it. You know, I don't really like the look, how it's turned out. So I'm hoping that this kind of more, you know, even more bodged up kind of effect, I'm hoping I'm going to be a bit more, you know, a bit happier with the results. So I'm just going to push this into here. This is my version of, oops, my version of measuring, and already I've mucked it up. So yeah, right, let's just try and make sure I'm going right down to the end. I don't think I'm still in at the end. Oh gosh, right. Let me just twist this round so I can actually see the end, because it's probably not helping because it's, you know, it was turned away from me, facing away from me. Right, let's try and push that right into the corner. And then I'm going to just try and squish that around like that. And then I'm hoping that that then would be, you know, where it needs to be cut. So let's just fold that in. And yeah, let's just, oops, I've now got gesso all over the paper. So yeah, I definitely should have tried that a bit better. But, you know, like with all these things, I'm not worried at all, because, you know, we're going to kind of cover some of this stuff up anyway. So hopefully it's not really going to be very noticeable if, I mean, that, look, I've done that way too short now. Oh dear. Oh well. Oh well, I don't think it really matters too much, to be honest. You know, because again, we can kind of cover things like that up by, you know, if I'm going to put some gold on this or anything like that, we can cover it up with some gold. So let's put the glue on the bottom rather than on the paper, I think, for this one, because if I put it on the paper, I'm going to just dab the glue everywhere. So yeah, I think I'm better off putting it around the box itself, if you know what I mean. Okay. Right, let's just squish that in there. I mean, the good thing is with the glue now, it's, you know, making it slide around a bit more easily, which is good. Okay, right, what have I done with my glue spreader? There we go. So just squish that into the corners as best I can. Okay. I mean, I really do hate doing things like this, I have to say. They're just my worst nightmare. I'm now kind of like, what was I thinking? Why would I have chosen to do this on camera as well? Yeah, because they're not my kind of thing. You know, it's definitely way too fiddly and fussy for me. Right, I'm going to just quickly sand this bit down, which was where obviously where I've had the, you know, whatever it was that was glued into that box. So I'm just kind of sanding it down a little bit like that. And then hopefully we can just cover that up with maybe some more paper. Yeah, in there. So I'm going to do, I think, the same sort of thing on the inside as I have on the outside, i.e. just go around with the torn pieces rather than trying to, you know, trying to make it fit perfectly. I just think this is more seamless. I know that sounds really weird, but, you know, I mean, nothing shows up worse than when you're actually trying to make something look 100% neat, you know, because then if it doesn't look neat, it obviously stands out like a sore thumb, doesn't it? Whereas actually, if you're not really trying to make it look neat in the first place, you know, the chances are it's going to be a bonus compared to your low hopes that you had in mind. So yeah, that's my philosophy, is just have really low expectations and then anything's going to be a bonus, isn't it? So yeah. Okay, so I've just gone round that corner slightly with this piece here. Okay. That looks good. And then I just want to go down the sides, so I'm just going to bring in that same scripty page that we used around the edges, you know, on the outside. So again, just tear that down. Okay. And yeah, shall we just go along here, I think. And, you know, I mean, if you're just thinking, oh my gosh, she's making such a hash of this. You know, we're going to ink this up. We're going to maybe dab some gold paint and things on it. So, you know, hopefully it's going to go from looking a bit like a child's project, hopefully looking like something that we found in the attic. That's the plan. Oh, I feel really under pressure. Oh, I hope this goes okay. Right. I have got low hopes, I've got to say. But low hopes, that's where it's at, isn't it? Like we say, no expectations, you're going to be pleased, aren't you? So, right, let me just get some more of the scripty page. You know, whereas, I mean, if you're going in expecting something amazing, you're going to be disappointed, aren't you, really? Because, you know, very rarely do things quite pan out as you hope. Okay, right. I'm going to go for that into that corner. I'm just going to glue. You can probably see, I mean, there's all wet gesso on there now. So, oh, and it's up my arm as well. Thank goodness I pulled my sleeves up of my cardigan, because otherwise it would have been all over my jumper. Okay, right. So push it in there like that, and then around. So I'm just going to, spread this out and then just squish it into that corner like that, and then just along here, and again just squish it right into that corner. Are you okay, sweetie? and then just squish that down there. Oops. Okay. And the other thing that happens, you can probably see even here, when you go round something like this, it often goes quite slanty. So it started out quite low, and now by this side, it's actually overhanging the edge. So, I mean, that's another reason for doing it in like collagey bits rather than a whole, is because, you know, invariably it doesn't really stay where it started, if you see what I mean. You know, it often then goes off at a jaunty angle with a mind of its own. So, okay. Let's just go in here. Now, do I want to go there? Or do I want to go right the way along? Oh, I'm just going to go right the way along. Let's just go for it. Oh, dear. Okay, so, yep, we've got that piece now stuck there. Right, okay, let's squish that down.
Can I have the glue? Can you glue it?
Where do you need that glued to, sweetheart? Glue it to where? Okay, right, okay, so just going to put a little dab more glue on there. Just because if you can see, I've just got a bit there that maybe I was nowhere near the edge. I'll just put some glue down there. Right, okay. Let's press that down like that. Okay.
Pretty.
Well, I'm not sure that I would call it pretty yet, but hopefully it will be by the end. Right, so I'm going to leave that to dry. Now, the lid, what do you want glued to where, sweetie?
So put glue this on there.
Yeah.
Make it spell fun.
Fun, okay. Like that, yeah?
Because they're pretty colours together.
They're really pretty colours together, aren't they? How are you feeling now, darling? You feeling all right?
A little bit.
Yeah?
I like
You'd
all the
probably
stuff
prefer
that
to
I
be
made.
at school, wouldn't you?
No,
You big fibber. She would. She loves school.
no. It's just math.
Oh, I see. Although you were doing those big sums yesterday. There you go. Looks good. They do look good together, don't they? Right. Now, the lid. Do we want to do the lid yet or not? Oh, let's do the lid because, yeah, hopefully we can assemble the box because then we know, obviously, you know, what we've got to work with to put the pieces in. So that's another thing, is obviously this is going to glue on. Now, can you see already that's kind of like tight to go on there? You know, just that little bit of gesso and that paper has made that quite a snug fit. Although I've got to say, these Apple boxes, they're pretty snug anyway, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, I can't claim it's just that, because I think they're quite a snug fit anyway. Right, so I'm going to go round exactly as we did. I'm just going to cover the box. So, and again, you know, this is just my first effort. It doesn't matter how it looks. And, you know, who knows how we're going to actually decorate the outside of this box. We might put some fabric on this, or, you know, anything. We might kind of do anything with it. So, you know, I'm not going to stress about, oh, you know, that's not straight, or that's not gone on there, or, you know, I'm just going to get it, basically, get it to a stage where it's vaguely covered. Okay. Right, let's just spread that glue. Like that. Okay, right. Oops. Let's just go for that. Again, just, oh dear. Oh well, I've torn that, so I'll just tear it off now. Okay, and just leave that down there. And then this piece, just glue this down along the side. Okay. Okay, right. And I just want to go just under here where I've got a little tiny piece there. Just needed an extra bit of glue. Right, okay. Yeah, looking good so far. Well, I don't know if it's looking good, but you know, it's looking like it's getting covered. So that's probably as good as we can hope for. Right. Oops, let's tear off the ledger. And again, just put this on. And I know I've been really boring because I've just stuck with all the same, you know, papers and colours. But again, you know, that doesn't matter because obviously, you know, we could always put some fussy cuts on here. We can obviously put some fabrics on here. You know, I don't know yet how I'm going to decorate this up. But, you know, the chances are it's probably not going to stay just in the blues and the ivory. It's probably going to look, you know, have some colour going on it. So, or something anyway. So this is just like literally, you know, first effort, get some stuff stuck down type jobby. Yeah. Right, that's this one. And again, just oops, tear that down like that. Okay. So again, just going to kind of fill that bit. Oops, fill that bit in there. Okay. Let's just pop that down. Okie dokie. Right. I mean, the other thing that I could have done was actually I could have painted the box, you know, over the top of the gesso, and then we would have had some colour going on the box anyway. Who knows? I might do that now, or not now, but, you know, I might do that afterwards over the top of some of the paper, so I've got something a bit more going on. You know, yeah, I've just kind of, I think by doing it, you know, this way, I'm just leaving my options open as much as I can. So I'm just going to quickly fill this side in with some of the blue. Okay, like that. Right, so I'm going to put that sort of at an angle. Okie dokie. Right. Okay. Oh dear. Right. Okay. Right. Here we go. So, yeah, got that bit going on now. Oh, actually, I wanted to have it more. Yeah, because I didn't really want to kind of sandpaper over the top edge. If you see what I mean, I would rather sandpaper around the lower edge, I think. I might sandpaper a little bit over the top, but yeah, probably prefer the main part on that lower section. Okay, right. It's looking a bit like an eyesore at the moment, isn't it? Yeah, I know you're probably thinking the same as me of like, oh my goodness, how's she going to pull this back from the brink? No idea is the answer. No idea at all. Right, so my first thing that I'm going to do is tidy up around the edge of this box. So let's just go in with the sandpaper and just kind of sand down around the box. Right, so you can probably see here, got this whole section. I'm just going to tear that off. Now again, I could have gone in and trimmed that with the scissors. I can't help but think I would have made a worse job than I have made of tearing it. And let's face it, I've made a pretty bad job of tearing it. So imagine the job I would have made from cutting it. Okay. So yeah, just sanding down around these edges. And like we say, you know, this is just going to make these papers a bit more seamless into the fabric of the box, if you know what I mean. And again, just a bit on those edges. Now, this edge is a little bit of a worry because obviously I have got that section there. But, you know, again, I'm not going to stress too much about it because hopefully we can kind of do something about that in a little while. So, or, you know, when we come to finish the box off, we can hopefully do something with that. So, yeah, let's just get the whole box sanded down so it looks a bit more you know, like these papers haven't just been plonked on, but so they're looking a bit more like they actually fit on the box. Okay. Okay, right. Oops, and just this one here, which I hadn't really noticed, but yeah, that definitely needs sanding down. Okay, right. Okay. Oops, I've just got a bit here as well. So again, just, you know, just anywhere where you notice, you know, that you've got a bit, you can just go back in and sand it down. Like that. Now I probably will go over this with some gold paint, like I say. So, you know, it's very doubtful that it's going to just stay quite like this, but who knows, it might. Because it might. Okay, that's that piece. And then the top piece, now obviously this is very wet because I've only just that second glued these bits on. So, you know, it's got to be said, it's not ideal to probably come in, you know, when your pieces are quite as wet as my pieces are, but I don't want to have to keep stopping the camera, so I'm just going to plough on and just go for it anyway. So I'm just sanding off where that piece was overhanging. I've not cut it off, I've not torn it off, I've just like sanded it off basically, and then just a bit here. Okay, right, so you can probably see, so I've got this piece that's torn off now. Again, that's fine because I'm just going to go down here now and kind of like smooth that out with the sandpaper. Okay, just trying to make my edges all, you know, a bit more uniformy. Right, now this piece obviously is a bit more problematic, so I'm going to tear that off. Now this is where I've cut the box down, made a terrible job of cutting this back flap open, so I'm just going to sand that down a bit. I mean, I should have really tidied that up, to be honest, before actually getting started with this, but, you know, never mind. And again, just sand down this side here, where, again, made that terrible, shockingly bad job of cutting that flap. Okay. And then on this side, just, again, sand this side down. Oops. Like that. And then here, like that. iPad mini case, yeah. So it's not looking transformed so far, is it? Not looking transformed so far, but I'm hoping it's going to. So let's just quickly clear the desk, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, aren't kids great? Because they... Oh, well, that's not so good, is it? I was going to say, aren't they great? They've got such low standards, but no, she then was like, oh, I can still see the apple. Right, so I'm just going to check. This is how the box is going to go. So obviously I need to attach my back flap to the box, so that then my whole box is just going to have an opening like that, if you see what I mean. So it's just going to be, yeah, attached there on that back flap. Now I'm wondering which glue is going to be best for that. I'm thinking the wet glue because, yeah, let's go for the wet glue. So, okay. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have really, yeah, I should have lined the lid, shouldn't I? Do you know, I think I should line the lid first, actually. So, right, let me just wipe this out. Can you just bear with me, darling? Because I know you're waiting for something, but you're kind of like over my shoulder. making me feel like I'm having to rush. Thank you, darling. Thank you, sweetie. Right, so let's just go back in with, just see, it seems like it's mainly this, you know, these two papers that I had on the copy paper. So, yeah, I mean, as much as it's a bit boring, I'm just going to go for the same again, because, actually, I'm just wondering whether if I go like that. Yeah, I know it's a bit boring, but it's at least going to match, you know, at least know it's going to match now, no matter what. The box is all a cohesive colour. So that's all, you know, that's a good thing, isn't it? Right, so I'm going to glue this down in here. And then I was wondering whether I should do something across that where it's going to be the hinge. So let's just glue that down. So again, just apply my glue inside the box rather than to the paper. For exactly the same reason, just that, you know, if I put it on the paper, I'm going to obviously make a mess when I'm putting the paper in there. So yeah. Let's just pop it in like that. Okay. Okie dokie. Right. So again, using my glue spreader now to just spread that glue. Okay. And obviously here I've not made a brilliant job of cutting my paper down because it's now overhanging slightly, but that's fine. Okay, oops, sorry about that. I've just got some things dropped down onto the desk. Right, okay. So yeah, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, I just suddenly thought of that. I just hadn't really kind of factored that in, and I just then suddenly thought, oh, actually, I might prefer to glue my piece in first. So, yeah, it kind of hadn't really occurred to me until just that moment. Right, okay, so I'm going to just make sure this is in that, burnished into that fold, like that. And then we can just tear this down. Again, you know, this one doesn't matter because this is going to be under the flap. So I just tear that off like that. Okay, right. Looking good so far. Now, again, I should probably just kind of do something inside that box as well, shouldn't I? So yeah, should we just quickly, just very quickly fill in around the edge. Now I'm wondering, when this opens, should this really be upside down or should it be up the right way? I guess it should probably be up the right way. It's one of those things, isn't it, that, you know, when you stop to think about it, you're like, oh, not sure actually whether it should be up the right way or upside down. Okay, right. Thank you, sweetie, for being patient. I'm sorry. It's just sometimes, you know, these things are a little bit too complicated for me. Right, okay. So, squish that in like that. Oops. Like that into the corner. And then along here. So, I mean, here it's even got a crease. Again, I'm not too worried, and, you know, I don't mind that. It looks fine. Just need to squish that down. And obviously that crease will add a little bit of bulk. So, yeah, kind of more things to prevent it wanting to close, I suppose. But, hey, you know, never mind. Right. Like that, and oops, I've just got a little stray piece of paper here. Okay, And then I'm just going to quickly do a little strip down on this side as well. So, are you having a nice time, sweetie? Yeah? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just put this piece just straight along here, like that. Okay. Straight along there. And again, just spread that with the glue. Like that. Okay. Okie doke. Right, now I'm just going to trim this down because from this angle this looks quite trashy and tatty. I've now caught my scissors on the inside, so I've made that look quite trashy and tatty now. That was not intentional, I can tell you. Oh well, never mind. We're going to have to we're going to have to cover that up now. Oh dear. Right, bodgy crafting at its best, this is. Well, I'm not sure whether it's at its best, to be honest, but bodgy crafting anyway. Right, there we go. So, again, obviously, in an ideal world, I'd wait for this to dry a little bit, you know, from the glue. But, you know, because I'm doing the video, we'll just go for this anyway. So, I'm just going to sand this down here. Okay, and on this edge. Okay. Right, okay. Whew. Very covered in dusty paper now. Okay, right. Let's see.
I'm covered in sparkles.
You're covered in sparkles. I'm covered in dust. What a pair we are. Right, so that's how that's going to go. I'm so pleased I've covered the inside. I can't believe I didn't actually think of that, you know, before. It would have looked really, really horrible, wouldn't it, if I hadn't have, you know, gone back in and covered that. Now, I'm just going to see whether we might want to put some lace on that flap. The only reason is because, obviously, once it's kind of glued in place, I'm not going to be able to then add it, like, retrospectively. So, I just want to see whether... Do you see what I mean? I know it's not very easy to see all this, you know, in the camera, but... So, I'm going to just put this lace down here. So, I just need to cut that down slightly more. Like that. Okay, and actually, as luck would have it, that lace is going to cover up that torn paper that I just tore. So it's got a bonus purpose there. Okay, right. Let's just go for that. Oh my goodness, how many more times do I need to cut this? And then you know what's going to happen, don't you? What's going to happen, sweetheart?
Too short.
You guessed it. She's seen me in action before. Right, okay, I'm just going to go for that. So I'm just going to glue this around on here. I'm just using my wet glue. Whoops.
And this is just right because I cut it in the shape of this thing. Look, see? Mine is
I know.
just right.
I will have a look in a moment. Let me just quickly glue this on. Just quickly here. So I just want this to go onto that fold quite a bit as well. Okay, right, probably want it a bit higher, like that, because we do want, you know, we want a fair bit of that lace showing, don't we, because it looks pretty. What do you think, sweetie? Do you like the look of it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I did it just right.
Good. I'm glad you did that just right. Okay, right, so pressing that lace down. Now, I'm now going to attempt to obviously glue this flap onto the box. Oh, I feel really nervous now because, yeah, this is where it's all going to kind of like go wrong. Right, now, yeah, I'm going to put it like that. Now, I'm going to glue it with the wet glue and then I'm going to leave it for a few hours with something heavy kind of like pressed there that's hopefully going to hold it kind of together. So this will be where the video ends after this has been glued in place. So I'm going to then just kind of move it to one side and put something heavy resting on there, which will hopefully then, you know, ensure that the whole thing just glues down. So
And this
fingers crossed, everybody, fingers crossed. Are you keeping your fingers crossed, Ian?
Yes, and I love your ring.
So. Oh, thank you so much. I got this as a present in Happy Mail. It's absolutely gorgeous, isn't it?
Yes, and this.
Right.
This is not for me. This is for the house. Like I'm gonna put string on it and then hang it up, like all of those.
Oh, that's going to be, yeah, like a wooden plaque, but it's a foam plaque. Right, so I've just got some glue oozing out here, so I'm just going to grab that glue, or, you know, wipe the glue out. Just a bit there. There's probably some coming out this side, but of course I can't see it because it's the other side. And then, yeah, I'm going to leave something heavy placed on this, which is hopefully then going to glue into place. So next time that we come along, we're going to be able to crack on straight away with this. So I've got a book there. Now, obviously, that's not really a very heavy book. So I'm going to need to put something else on there as well. Just having a look. I've got my, my jar of bows, which is pretty heavy.
Oh, mine's bigger.
So I'm just going to put that in there. And then I might also, just for good measure, put my pinking shears on there, because they're quite a heavy pair of scissors. So right, so hopefully between those few items I've got enough weight going on, you know, without actually breaking the box. So I hope that you like the kit, hope that you like the box so far, and I will be back. So thank you so much for watching, and see you guys soon. Thanks then, bye.